Hey there, I hope you guys are having an awesome day. We're going to continue our progress in the shop here, in our shop makeover. So I ordered a few items from Amazon to help make life easier in the shop here, help keep things organized. The first of those just showed up today from the UPS driver, so I'm going to go ahead and hang them up and kind of get a feel for how this is going to go together. So I got a whole bunch of these boxes today. Let's open them up and see what's in there. Storage bins. So I've been looking for a good way to put a bunch of my nuts and bolts and various things. So I think this is going to be the answer to them. All right, so these do have a handle, but they also have the ability to be hung on the wall, which is what I'm going to do. And then they have flip up fronts that stay up, load them up with some other miscellaneous hardware. So super excited for this. Got these up. Have another special something coming to go in the middle here. But yeah, I like these. These are pretty good heavy duty plastic construction. The lids hold up and everything. There's good storage room. Reminds me of like old storage bins from back in the day. Yeah, I think you get a little bit of weight in there and these things will be really nice. So I have a pack of these yellow stackable bins. I got them at Harbor Freight eons ago. I think Harbor Freight still sells them. They're pretty common. But I've got lots of like hardware and stuff and miscellaneous stuff all mixed together in these things. So I'm planning on utilizing these for a bunch of those. And then I'm probably going to actually use these in the back of drawers for like little organizers and stuff inside some of the drawers here. Well, Amazon has been at my house way too much for the last couple days here, so we have a special little package here that's going to help us out on this wall.
Used to give all I have. I'm used to get nothing back. Wherever I go, it's the same. There's no excuses, no one to blame. Sometimes I can understand how it can be so hard to stay out of pain. But with you, everything has changed. Even though we both stay the same. Would you call me on the midnight train? Would you come over when nothing's right? Would you hold me tight in the rain? Even as we're having a fight. Say you.
Well, that's a little bit of a bummer. I went ahead and tore down the supply cart that I built for holding all my plywood and my boards. It worked great. It's just this space is a little bit too small for something that large. So I've got everything now up against a wall. You know, it's 12 inches or less to the wall, so we're taking up very little space this way. A little more pain when you're digging out plywood and stuff that gets kind of buried behind. But I think at this point I'd rather have the space. If I end up building a larger shop at some point down the road, I will probably bring that back in some capacity, because it's nice. You can just wheel it around, wheel it over to the table saw, load up your plywood or whatever you're doing, and away you go. But for now, in the space that we have, I think this is the better option for sure.
I'm used to give up 100 times. It's never been worth it. But now there is so much to say. This time it is different. Sometimes I can't understand how it can be so hard to stay out of pain. But with you everything has changed, even though we both stay the same. Would you call me on the midnight train?
Well, we definitely still have a mess. We got lots to clean up. I think I'm gonna go ahead and move the table saw over into this bay. Do a walkway between the wall and the table saw over there. I've got the bandsaw and a couple other things on casters and rollers so we can move them away if we need to get to our plywood or any of the wood on that wall. Chop saw, we're gonna do an assembly table right behind it made out of this cabinet. I'm gonna expand the top on that, and we're gonna change that one up a little bit. Originally, I was gonna use those 3 cabinets to go across the whole back, but we ended up deciding to do another storage on this back corner. So, but other than that, we've got everything against the wall over here. Now we're gonna have a massive area in this bay for working on projects, pulling in vehicles, that sort of stuff, to be able to get around them.
I was old, I was young, I was sitting in the sun. I was tired of the run, I was done. Life was great, life was hard, in a way an awful card. You can't win the losing hand. But the rain stopped falling and the line on the floor was crossed. And the pain I'd been feeling washed away to return another day. I was cold, I was bold, I had fragmented my soul into pieces contradicting themselves. Perhaps it is as it is, how the world is the mess, means that every heart and soul needs to be whole. And the road signs keep changing as the road stretches out ahead.
Well, I was down at Lowe's looking for epoxy, and the only thing I could really find was this fiberglass resin epoxy, so we're gonna try using that. I'm gonna use that on the countertop over here that I built. So before I get that deep into that project, I'm gonna test it on this. So this is just the tabletop that I put over top of that rolling cabinet. It's gonna be a multi-purpose table. It's gonna sit right here. I'm gonna put cutoff scraps on it. When I'm running sheets of plywood through the table saw, I'll set them up on that and then have a spot to kind of work them through. So it'll be kind of a multi-purpose tabletop. We'll put Dee Dee's gardening storage stuff that she wanted in the shop in this as well. Definitely will be a multi-use thing, but I've never done a fiberglass resin epoxy before. I'm assuming it's not too difficult, so we're gonna mix the 2 parts together and slap it on here and see what happens.
And the mood keeps on changing. All I wanna do is lie down in bed.
that's interesting. Definitely has firmed that top up a lot. Pretty stout. That's cool. So this has been sitting for about an hour. It's mostly cured, maybe not quite. Maybe I just stuck something on my hand. Pretty cool, nice and hard, firm. I may stick a second coat on this. I might do a light sanding and then slap another coat on there, just to harden this thing up. I mean, that's pretty cool. So I think that will work very well for our bench over here that we're going to work on. I think it'll work really well. Well, I am still finishing up the last little bit. I need to do some cleaning, but the shop is finally back in, I'll say, working order. All the surfaces are mostly cleaned off. I still got a little bit to finish up, but feeling pretty good. We have Felix back up on the wall, ticking away, keeping time for us. Sometimes his tail stops wagging and I got to give it a little whack and it starts again. But the time keeps going. I don't know what that's all about. So I got to clean these up a little bit still, but this is actually one of my favorite stupid things here is I actually cut down through the bench and I have chainsaw stored down in the bench there. When I was setting this up, I left room on the side so that I could do that. And for some reason, I'm very excited about that. I don't know why. All right, well, I think that is actually going to do it for this video. I still have a lot to finish up, a lot to do, but I'm very happy with the layout of the new shop, how much space there is to work. Sealing the top of this turned out well. I'm going to go ahead and proceed with epoxying the main countertop as well. Probably next time as well, I'm going to go ahead and add a router to the end of my table saw. I have this one that I've used for years and years. It's starting to fall apart. It really needs to be replaced, but I don't want to buy another router table. I have this nice work area for running stuff through, so that has always been a little too small for any projects I've done, so I just want to add it to my table saw. I think that'll make life way easier when I am doing router projects. Thank you so much for joining me on the garage makeover part 2. I guess we're gonna have to have a part 3 because I still got a few other things to work on as well. But for now, I'm very happy with what we've gotten accomplished. The garage is back in working order again, which makes me very happy. I can do projects again. All right, I think that's it. Have a great day. We'll catch you on whatever we're doing next time. Bye.